Hey guys, it's me again, Eric here at Mountaintop 9, and tonight I want to talk to you about a Spanish horror film from the 1970s called The Witch's Mountain. Now, it made its US premiere, according to the Internet Movie Database anyway, in 1975. Now, of course, I didn't see that premiere, I wasn't born yet, but what really drew me in about this film was when I first laid my eyes on the Unicorn Video release. When Unicorn Video put this movie out on VHS and on beta, they really spared no expense in coming up with the best piece of cover art imaginable. Let me show you right now. There it is in all its glory. This is one of the greatest pieces of horror cover art ever made. If I was compiling a list of my top 10 favorite pieces of cover art, this would be on there most certainly. Just look at it. You have the virginal damsel in distress, and she's laying there totally helpless while these skeletal minions just hover above her. And you've got the one in the middle, and he has a inverted star hanging across his chest, and then he has this dagger held aloft, and they're obviously going to sacrifice this poor helpless woman. And it's just a magnetic piece of artwork. If you're a horror fan, this is the kind of stuff that just makes you go apeshit. But the sad thing is that unlike a film like Warlock Moon, which is another Unicorn Video release, okay? That's a 1970s film, alright, that's kick-ass. And it has a fantastic cover art to go along with it. Or a movie like Messiah of Evil, which is also from the 70s and was put out on VHS by Video Gems. Both of those movies kick ass in every sense of the word. The movies are good and the covers are good. This movie, on the other hand, has a great piece of cover art, but the movie fucking sucks. And that's where I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass, alright? I'm not here to pander to you. And I'm not afraid of some 70s cinephile saying, oh, that movie has redeeming, virtue, and you're just, you don't get it or you don't understand it. I'm not going to give you any of that elitist bullshit. This movie is a boring pile of shit. Pure and simple. This movie is a snooze fest. If you don't watch this movie while you're fully awake and maybe even had like 5 cups of coffee or something to keep your mind at a razor clip, I mean, you really gotta stay strong to endure this entire film because it's boring as fuck. I mean, it's only like an hour and 20 minutes long, but I want to fall asleep after watching it for 5 minutes. But let's get into what the film's about a little bit, and this won't take long. First of all, the main character is this guy with a mustache, alright? And his name's Mario. He's a photographer, and he gets an assignment where he's supposed to go into the damn mountains and take some fucking pictures. That's his job. He's a photographer. So, before he goes out there, though, he meets this really pretty chick, and her name's Delia or Delia or something. I don't fucking know. This movie's so boring. I mean, at some points it just fails to even keep my attention and my mind starts to wander. So I don't even know if her name's Delia or Delia, whatever the hell. He meets this beautiful woman and he says to her, hey, I'm on an assignment. I need to go into the fucking mountains to take some pictures. Do you want to come along with me? I sure could use some female company. At first she plays a little bit hard to get, but eventually she says, yeah, I'll come with you into the damn mountains. Hell, I just met you 5 minutes ago, but what the fuck? Let's go into the damn mountains together. So she gets in the car and they go further and further into the mountains. And let me tell you, they meet some real weirdos out there in those damn mountains. First, they meet this bald guy. He's a little short, hunchback looking guy. The bald guy offers to make them bacon and eggs, and I think he's even got some venison. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't eat anything that this guy cooks. Can you imagine eating food prepared by this prick right here? Imagine the big steaming shit he probably just took in his fucking outhouse, and then you want him to come in and make you a fucking plate of scrambled eggs and bacon? Are you serious? Are you out of your goddamn mind? And then they drive further into the mountains and they meet this old woman. She's real ugly and she kind of looks like Mr. Roper from Three's Company. For some reason, that's what I thought when I looked at her face. I was like, she kind of looks like Mr. Roper. And they stay with her for a while. And now we're getting towards the end of the movie. Nothing much happens in this piece of shit. It is so damn boring. I mean, have you heard anything interesting yet from anything I've said? So they're there with this old lady, and Mario goes outside and he starts taking pictures out in the woods and out in the mountaintops. And as he's snapping pictures, he sees images, and I guess they're apparitions of witches, okay? Because as he's taking the pictures, he doesn't see them standing there. But when he develops the film later, he sees them showing up in the film that he's developing. He sees different women standing out there in the mountains and amongst the trees. And so, you know, I guess that could be kind of eerie if handled correctly, but this movie handles everything wrong. And we get further into the movie and eventually you start to wonder, hey, why is Mario out here anyway in these mountains? And is there something else going on? Are there secrets being kept from him? Was he lured here for some kind of reason? Now, I'm not going to tell you how this movie ends, but basically, in a nutshell, I've told you almost everything that happens in this damn movie. There's just really not much else to say. I'm not going to give away the final 10 minutes, you know, what ends up happening at the very end, but I basically told you everything you need to know. It's just a lot of boring shit. The music in this movie is just terrible. It's this female choir type stuff, and it's just like nails on a chalkboard, alright? It makes me think that even having sulfuric acid poured into my fucking eardrums, even that wouldn't be as painful as listening to the soundtrack of this film. I rather listen to 100 naked asses farting into a huge fan. Alright? I'd rather listen to 1,000 bare asses farting into a huge fan and the fan just blowing the farts into my face. I'd rather have that happen than listen to the music in this film ever again. It is just an abomination. And I was saying that as I watched this movie. You know, because I've only watched pieces of this movie in the past. I had seen the beginning, I'd seen the middle, I'd seen the end. This is the kind of thing where I put it on a few times over the years, but never endured all the way through. I would always fall asleep at some point and then have to put the rest on the next day or something like that. And if you do it that way, if you put this movie on and kind of watch it in small doses, trust me, that is a much more humane way of experiencing this film. If you do what I did earlier today and actually say, I'm going to watch that piece of shit all the way through, all at once, and just take it all in, just take it. Alright? That's what I did, and I took it hard. The acting is dry. These characters, you never even get any good nudity. You don't get any good gore, so there's no exploitation to keep you involved. Also, a huge thing. No DVD company has ever put out a new transfer of this film, like, you know, taken from the original camera negatives or anything like that. So all that we are left with is just a very blurry, dark, and dreary film. You know, the picture quality is just abysmal. That's really too bad. Some movies that works in its favor. Like, I could see it if you were watching a really seedy proto-slasher film from like the mid-70s, late 70s. You know, something that really looks grimy and bad, but it would kind of fit the atmosphere, like if it was like a gore film or something like that. But this movie is going for more of an elegant, you know, type take. There are some nice shots of the mountainside, alright? They've got some huge mountains out where they filmed this, so it's very beautiful scenery, but oh my goodness, every print of this movie just always looks like shit. I mean, maybe if it was cleaned up, maybe it would be a total revelation and you could go, well, the movie is still boring, alright? It has no gore, it has no nudity, it has no real atmosphere, okay? And we'll get to that in a minute. But you could say all of those cons, but at least you could say, but at least it's cleaned up. At least the mountain scenery looks nice. But you can't even give this movie that, all right? You can't even give it that because it looks like sludgy shit smeared across an outhouse wall. Now, one of the last things I want to say, in case there's someone watching this who's thinking in their head, okay, so what? It doesn't have any, nudity, it doesn't have any gore, none of that exploitation goodness. Well, maybe it has good atmosphere. Maybe it has some suspense and some writhing tension that really puts you on the edge of your seat. No, you don't get any of that either. Now, you guys know me from watching my other videos. I love plenty of horror films that don't have gore and don't have nudity and all that kind of bullshit. I love films like Let's Scare Jessica to Death and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And I could go on and give other examples. A movie doesn't have to have gore or blood to engage me. Atmosphere is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. Having a good score and good atmosphere and some suspense, I mean, one of the best feelings in the world is like the first time you watch a film like When a Stranger Calls, and you watch the opening of that film and the palpable feeling of suspense as these calls keep coming into that girl. That poor babysitter, she's there all alone. The kids are sleeping upstairs and the guy keeps asking, have you checked the children? And just the tension just builds and builds until you get to that payoff. I love stuff like that, man. That's even better than gore. That's even better than any, topless chick running amok, So atmosphere is very important to me. You don't get that in this film, and that is sad. Look at the cover of this movie. I mean, come on. It's a crime. It's a damn crime that this movie isn't better, but it has this cover. So to sum up this review, I just want to say The Witch's Mountain is a boring movie. And I don't advise that you watch this movie. I advise that you do something better with your time. Don't even contemplate watching this movie. Go out and play a game of ping pong, alright? Play a game of Super Mario Brothers. Go out on a fucking bike path and have a nice run. Do something constructive with your time. Don't watch The Witch's Mountain. You have been warned. Consider this a friendly public service announcement. I'm doing you a favor by telling you not to even watch this pile of shit. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you guys again next time.